Good evening, everybody.
How are y'all doing? And we're back. We're live. Yay, we're live. Yay. Hopefully, did you enjoy that music, Jessica?
Absolutely. Thank you.
What is that music that Manny just played us?
I don't know, but I was going to get up to March.
Really? Oh, no. Oh, Manny, do you want to tell her what that was?
That would have been good.
That would have been good. Yeah.
That was a Gladys Porter High School fight song.
Yes, it is the Porter fight song. I wanted to go.
Yay. Yes, we're playing that song for you today. Hey, guys. Okay, we are, this is RioPolitics Live. With us, we have Jessica G Gonzalez. I think the StreamYard that we use for our shows only has a character limit. You were not able to use G in your name, right, Jessica? Is that why it is?
Actually, I didn't even try the G. Sometimes I forget to put the G, but
the
G is my legal name.
Yes, I know. No worries. Yeah, no, we don't want to have any problems with your legal name or anything. Anyway, so Jessica G Gonzalez will be on your ballot in Brownsville if you're in the BISD school district, which is most of the city of Brownsville and some of the areas around Brownsville outside the city limits of Brownsville. And she's running for Brownsville ISD. Welcome, Jessica, to RioPolitics Live. How are you doing today?
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. It's been a long day, but we're doing good. I'm ready.
Cool. So hopefully you all have shared the feed. Please like and share our feed so that people can get her message out. We get a lot of viewers. For some reason, around 8 o'clock, we get most of our viewers. So we'll do all the boring stuff before 8, and then 8 o'clock we'll just, blow up with stuff. Yay. But Manny, you ready to go? You ready with that crawl and things like that? Hey, time traveler, how you doing? Welcome. Jessica, who are you and why are you running for BISD? Why would you do this?
I ask myself that every day. Well, as you know, I'm Jessica Gonzalez. I am a parent volunteer for the district. I'm a mother of 4. I have my oldest in San Antonio who's getting her master's in sociology and will be home Thursday. I have a junior at Porter. I have a 7th grader at Falk, and I have a 4th grader at Sharp Elementary. Since becoming a stay-at-home mom, well, before I became a stay-at-home mom, I always worked leadership, management, everybody has different wordings, positions in the retail. I did that forever, managed different stores. And then after my little one was born, it was a little bit too much, so I decided to stay home, no more 12, 14-hour days. And to be honest, I was going crazy. I needed something to do, so I decided to start volunteering at the district. Started volunteering at Resaca mainly. That is also because since my 7th grader at Falk is autistic, he was having a hard time with school. We never did the early education. The only one actually that did the pre-K and stuff was my little one. So it just made it easier for him, for us, everybody involved, for me to be there. Started doing events at school since I was there all day. Besides your basics, you copy papers and stuff like that. But I'd start doing events. I'd get the community involved. We would do trick-or-treat events. We would do pictures with Santa and give the kids stuff. We would do Easter bunny things. Every year we would change it up, but we would always try to do something for the children because many times the kids in my area don't get this opportunity at home. So always advocating for them, advocating like I said, I was at Resaca, one of the closest schools in Brownsville, and very underfunded, very, very underfunded. So what we as parent volunteers would do was we would take over the events. So we would say, don't worry about the Christmas program. Don't worry about everything. We'll do everything. We, and I mean parent volunteers, not just me. There was absolutely no way I could have done everything that I did without everybody's help. And then, like I said, I have my other son. I tried to volunteer as much as I could at Falk and at Porter. I was fortunate to be part of some committees. I was part of the DPAC committee for years. DPAC is the District Parental Advisory Committee. SHAC, which is the Health Committee, Safety Committee, and I was part of the Site-Based Decision Committee. All of that helped me to see, I'm not sure if to say inside information, but just to help and understand the teachers better. And at the same time, that would give me knowledge for me to go out and tell the parents. That also got me involved in starting to go to board meetings. Started to try, until this day, I try to attend every single board meeting I can, every single committee meeting I can. And then from there, I just try to inform the public. And that's what made me want to actually decide to run. I debated it in 2016. But I see that the voice of many people isn't being heard. Me, as a very vocal parent, I feel my voice isn't being heard. So I can just imagine how other people that are kind of, hiding in the shadows, and I can just imagine how they feel. So we need somebody on the board that's going to be an advocate for these families. So that's why I finally decided to run.
One of the things, and I want to do this interview slightly different than I've done other interviews, just because there's some people out there that want to say because I know you, Jessica. I feel like I know you. I've known you for many years. That want to say, well, Jessica's just a stay-at-home. Who are your opponents? It is the incumbent Phil Cowan. Welcome, Laura. Incumbent Phil Cowan, Argelia Miller, and Vito Cardenas, and you're the one with the 4 people in that race.
Yes.
People want to say, well, you're just a stay-at-home mom. You're just a parent volunteer. But you've been in the private sector. You've been an employee. You worked while you were going to school. You worked at Lopez Supermarket. At one point. No, you're not necessarily supporting Erasmo Castro's opponent, but yeah, you work at Lopez Supermarket. You were a manager. You have been worked in food sales, being in customer service. You've done a lot of other things, and the reason you're welcome, Laura. The reason I take a little bit of offense to that, not because I'm trying to defend you, but I myself am a stay-at-home dad. I work part-time as an adjunct faculty member at Wayland Baptist. But that was always a knock. Just because one parent wants to be close, be at home, especially in this environment of coronavirus, you're at an advantage to other parents. You don't have to put your kids in daycare. You don't have to do those things. You're not just a stay-at-home mom. What would you say to those people that want to necessarily put you down and question your education and work background?
I would welcome them to take a walk in my shoes every day. My day starts from the minute I open my eyes to the minute I close them, and everything in between. I'll go back a little bit to, I want to say, quote unquote, normal times. And I mean by the kids actually going to school and stuff. So, you have your routine of getting them ready. Now, remember, I'm an autism parent, so we can only plan so much, as much as I want to emphasize that we have to schedule our day, but you have to be ready for those little disasters, those little meltdowns. So let's just say it's a perfect day. They go to school. I would go to school too. It depends what school I would choose to be volunteering at that day. And I would spend all day, literally all day, 8:30-ish to when they were out. Because sometimes I would be done maybe 2, and I would think, why am I going to just go home when I'll just wait for them to get out? And then back, there's stuff to do at home. There's a lot of stuff to do at home. I remember when I first became a stay-at-home mom, I had a really hard time emotionally, mentally, because at the same time, you go to work and you clock out and you're done. As a manager, it's still different. I would get phone calls, in the middle of the night, in the afternoon. I have to say that I have a very big support system. They're very supportive of me here at home. I can just say, I need to go to school, I need to do this, I need to do that. And they're very supportive, and that helps a lot. But my day, I can't. I know there's even images of, I'm just home watching the novelas. I wish. I don't even know what novelas there are, to be honest.
Yeah. But you and your husband, are y'all small business owners? And
Yes.
Yeah. So, that's important in our community as well, correct?
Yes, absolutely. We have a business here at home. Well, it's in the back. It's a family business. It was something that my father-in-law did on the side. And then it just went down through brothers. And it just so happened he's the one that stayed with it. That helped a lot with me working, especially retail. Like I said, those long hours, because I'm not going to lie. There was times that I would go to work maybe 6 a.m. and my kids were asleep. And I'd come home at 11 at night and they were asleep. The fact that he was home helped out a lot. I have videos of my little ones. That's why actually the ones that have me on their page, the one that I posted of my son yesterday, almost brought tears to my eyes, because I remember when my father-in-law was alive, the boys especially grew up in that shop. And to see them now older and still want to go and be involved and know what it is to get dirty and have to work for your money, I think that's helping them as well. And we're doing what we can here in the community. I know we mentioned about we talked the other day about buying a house, and I said I would love to one day I have a big fancy house. Who wouldn't? But I can't leave. This is my neighborhood. This is where we decided to raise our children. This is our home.
Yeah, and so you are running against a 4-year incumbent, Philip Cowan. Philip Cowan, this is his first term being at BISD. That you are running also against 2 challengers. But really, I believe anybody who's running for office against an entrenched incumbent, he's been on the board a couple of times other than now. So he's a regular on the BISD board. With a person with a lot of money, a person that is a Cowan. And one of the things about the Cowans is they're good people. We have a Cowan at BISD. We have a Cowan at the port. We have a Cowan at the city. We have a Cowan pretty much, I don't know where they're coming out. They're probably just coming out of, I don't know where. They're everywhere. And they're real big politicos in our community. Why would you want to challenge somebody like him and his family? Because unfortunately, when you run against a Cowan, you're running against the family, the name.
Family, yeah.
So why would you choose to run against him?
I'd hate to say I'm running against him, but that's just the reality of it. Let's just be honest. But I felt that there needed to be a different perspective on the board. I, as a parent, not as a candidate, was personally lied to by him. I'll give you an example. There was an event, a BISD event. It was actually a parent volunteer recognition ceremony. Happens every year. Well, it didn't happen this last year because of the virus. He specifically pulled me aside and said, I want you to know that there's going to be conversations about closing of the schools. I want you to know you're going to be safe. This is Resaca. Oh, I was super happy because ever since I was a volunteer at Resaca, it was always like, oh, they're going to close you down. They're going to close you down. And we're like, no, we're not going to let it happen. So when he specifically pulled me aside, I was like, wow, this is huge. I go to school the next day and pull staff aside, pull parents aside. And I was like, guys, it's going to happen, but we're safe. Okay. Facilities meeting comes along and another board member mentions, why isn't Resaca on the list? Because mind you, Resaca was not on the original list to close. It was Garza Elementary, which I went to Garza.
Yeah.
And then, so that was the facilities meeting. And then when everything happened, boom, Resaca's on the list. And then ultimately he voted to close it down. So, that hurt. That did hurt, because why even pull me aside to say that? And another, he boasts so much about helping the people of the community, my neighbors. You have the Buena Vida neighborhood, and he boasts so much of, oh, I don't want to say the housing authority, not in my pocket, but they're tight. I question, where is he? I'm there Saturday mornings, again, not right now because of the virus. I'm there Saturday mornings when they have breakfast for the elderly. I'm there when they have their little chalupas. Sometimes I'll take them little prizes or cakes or stuff like that. I'm always there. Yet when you hear him talking, oh no, I support it. Okay, well then back to the schools. Where were you when those parents were in tears? Where was he to console them? It was always, trust me, and don't worry, and it had to be done, and blah blah blah. I was the one that had to fight for a bus route. We weren't even given a bus route. We were promised one. We were promised to choose a school to start off. We were promised to choose a school, and then it turned out that no, that you couldn't choose a school. And officially, I wasn't even zoned to Resaca. I'm actually zoned to Canales. I would start to go to Resaca through an interdistrict transfer, and then all that ended when it became an open enrollment school. Anyway, so I'm far, a couple of houses farther than Buena Vida. I was offered a bus route, not the Buena Vida people. So then I went to the district, spoke in public comment, and I said, why is this happening? You're targeting the most underprivileged people. Help them out. Thankfully, with the help of interim superintendent, Dr. Hatton, and Mr. Ornelas, the transportation department director, and we got a whole bus route. Originally, first, it was also going to be a double route. Even Mr. Ornelas says, he's like, I can't believe you got a whole bus route. I'm like, well, I don't understand why not. If every single campaign, and if you follow BISD campaigns, everybody talks about helping out the transportation department. And here I am, help me out, give me a bus route. And I got it right away, thankfully.
I mean, the thing is that, the nickname for Philip that people have given him is flip-flopping Philip. And the reason they given that is exactly what would happen with you and Resaca. You as a parent felt let down. You as a community member felt let down by his inability to defend you and defend the people in this area. Most of Resaca area, I think it falls along District 1, if I'm not mistaken, or a good chunk of it falls in District 1. And I live in District 1. This is our community. Whether or not District 1 just isn't just Southmost. And to have somebody...
If I can just interrupt you real quick, and I was going to say that, and we've had this conversation before, that my issue with the whole District 1 thing is everybody forgets about us on this side of the expressway.
Well, now you're part of the mini cultural district. Your house has now been incorporated in the expansion of the mini, which I think is crazy, and we can talk about that some other time. But the thing is that the Resaca families were let down by Philip Cowan. He is in there. He's supposed to be helping people, and he claimed to have helped you all, and he didn't. He literally flip-flopped on you on this one issue, but this isn't the only issue he's flip-flopped on. He's flip-flopped on the idea of the Performing Arts Center. They raised the BISD with the help of BISD voters, raised the taxes for the Performing Arts Center, and it doesn't happen because of politics, or the money's not there, or whatever, giving all these kinds of excuses. Probably the more recent flip-flop that I've seen of your opponent, the incumbent, is this electioneering. New change in the election. Manny, I didn't get a chance to send you the picture, but about 2 months ago, in BISD, you could win an election. You had to win an election by a majority. Am I right on that? Okay.
Yes.
That was a change that happened. And Philip, after you filed your paperwork to be a candidate, after Vito filed his paperwork, after Philip, everybody filed their paperwork, after the ballots had been set, he decides in his infinite wisdom to push through as policy chair. If I'm getting any of this wrong, please let me know. Put through policy that, hey, it's no longer a majority that you need. You're now going to need a plurality. Why? Why would somebody like this do that? You were at the meeting when this happened, or you were witness this meeting. You know, what was his excuses for wanting to change this rule? And why does this matter? Because in order to win your race, it's much more difficult to win a majority in a 4-person race than to win a plurality. A plurality is whoever gets the most votes. So he changed the rules in the middle of the game.
Well, he's policy chair.
Yes.
So he decides what goes, up to the policy committee. No decisions are officially made on the committee meetings until they go to the board. Mm-hmm. Actually, I had not seen that it had been changed. So then they blame everything on TASB. Everything.
Erasmo's claiming that Sylvia pushed it forward. I don't know. Did she push the majority, or did she push the plurality thing? Erasmo. Sorry, I don't know if you can see the comment.
Yes, I can see it. Sylvia, actually, I will say, mentioned it to him. Philip was upset, and you can go back to the meeting. You don't have to take my word for it. Go back to that policy meeting. I can't keep track because, it's election time, and as policy chair, all of a sudden we're having policy meetings every week. There's actually one on Thursday. So then he mentioned he was upset because, according to them, TASB had changed the policy. So then he wanted to know who had inserted it. Like, he literally wanted to know who had inserted it into the system.
Okay.
And back to Sylvia was the one that flat out said, if it's not changed back, people, and looking straight at Phil, people that have multiple opponents run the risk of losing, like our race. Mm-hmm. So then again, it has to go to the main board meeting. I believe there was a special called, and then that's when TASB was going to come in. And then suddenly it's changed again. I want to say not even a couple of weeks back. So now, last I remember, I believe we're back to, I can't even keep track anymore.
I think I looked at it, I think yesterday, the change is now back to a plurality. And I was claiming it was Sylvia who was doing it. Sylvia doing it as a favor to protect Philip? Is Sylvia doing a protection? Why would Sylvia be doing something like this in the middle of an election season? Regardless, Philip is the policy chair. Philip is the one who voted for it, and it was a unanimous vote, right?
Yes, at the actual meeting, because remember that no decisions officially can be done at committee meetings and workshops and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And even Baltasar Salazar, the board attorney, raised his hand and wanted to talk and said, you run the risk of getting into a lawsuit because it's already too late into the game. As you say, people had already filed to run. Yeah,
the election is set. This is the election. Yep. The rules should not be changed in the middle. We're in the middle of an election already, whether he wants to admit it or not.
We had even chosen our place on the ballot. Like, we were in the system. And then, back to the COVID, people are mailing in their ballots. All that, it's already started.
Yeah, and the reason this matters, why this matters, is that I believe right now that we have a corrupt board. You may not agree with that their characterization, but I believe it. And this is an example of corruption. You have Minerva Peña, who has 2 opponents who might not be able to get a majority. She votes in favor of this. You have Phil County has 3 opponents other than himself who votes in favor of this. Those are the only 2 races, if I can, and also maybe they were trying to protect that the race with Frankie, Hyman, and Denise will have 3 people. Nobody argued at this meeting, oh, this isn't a way to save us money so that we don't have to do a runoff. Nobody argued that during the meeting, right?
When it came up to a vote, and if you're familiar with the way the meetings go, normally what happens is Pat Perez, which is a board secretary, I know you know her.
Yes.
Pat Perez reads off the exact wording of what's going to happen, what they're going to vote on. And it was something simple, like vote to approve changes to policies. She didn't even finish her last word when Philip said, motion to approve. Yeah,
so he was the one that, even whether Sylvia did it or not, he was the one who made the motion.
He made the motion, Eddie seconded, Eddie Garcia, and then it was approved unanimously.
There's no discussion whatsoever about it once the motion was made. And that's a problem. You have an absolute change in the rules. And why does this matter? Why? Philip can't get a majority. No, I agree with that, Erasmo. There's no vote, but I guess if I understand that, Jessica,
There
at
was
the board
there was
meeting,
a policy meeting and then there was a board meeting, because remember we've been having back-to-back special
right,
calls.
but at the board meeting,
Yeah.
Philip was the one who made the motion at the BISD board meeting, right?
Yeah.
The thing is that, and now you let me lose my train of thought, Erasmo. I don't believe Philip can get a majority. I don't think that Minerva can get a majority. They can get a plurality. They haven't had a problem doing that. And now Philip is now able to. When you have to go to a majority, the game, not only does the game change, but your strategy changes in order to win a race. You spend all your money right now in general and hope to avoid a runoff, or do you have to save monies because you know a runoff is coming? Now you can have Philip spend all of his money that he wants, his mega money, and whether he's getting money from vendors, whoever's getting money. We'll find out when he gets his campaign finance reports who is getting money, who's spending money, and that troubles me. He's using the idea of leadership matters as his slogan, like leadership matters. Like, this is not leadership. This is, I don't want to say thievery, but it definitely seems corrupt.
My thing about that is there's policies that have been in effect since the 80s, 90s that are super old. I'm all for updating all policies, which is apparently what we're doing now, weeks before the election, and then being like, hey, I'm policy chair, look at what I'm doing. No, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, I understand he wasn't policy chair forever, but I can't remember off the top of my head who it was before. Maybe if Erasmo's still watching, he might know. But it should have been done long time ago. Don't be doing things now and say, hey, look at what I'm doing, because that's just not right. And according to when I approached Phil, I wanted him to hear it from me that I was running.
I think I'm allowed to say that because they're office holders, but I don't want to say that comment. Sorry, I interrupted you.
That's all right. I wanted him to hear from me, and although I was advised by certain people not to approach him, not just file and go with it, I couldn't. My conscience, I don't want to consider him a friend, but he's an acquaintance. So I just thought, I wanted to tell him.
He's a board member. You have a right to talk to a board member, right?
Well,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
and I did. I pulled him aside and I told him that I was going to run. And I was very thrown back at his response, which was that he pretty much had nothing to worry about. He's a Cowan. So I don't know if I should run on my Gonzalez.
I don't know. I don't understand this Cowan thing, and don't get me wrong. I know Cowans. They're nice people.
Yeah, I know John. I've gone through the housing authority as well.
You only met him whenever he was running for office, and now I don't think he ever goes to the board.
He was actually very happy to hear when that I met him. No, actually, I did not meet him through the housing.
Oh, really?
Met at an event at Porter. And I mentioned that I was interested in running. This is early on. And I was thinking about it, and it was like, yay, that's good. We need people like you, blah, blah, blah. Obviously, then he found out I was running against his uncle, and he wasn't so happy.
Yeah, there were a lot of people like that, right? There were a lot of people that have told that, one of the knocks are, and I don't want to go through all the people, what people say about you or knocks is that, oh, you're Sylvia's puppet. Frankly, you're not Sylvia's puppet. You're not. I want you to answer that question. Are you Sylvia's puppet in this race?
No. Nobody
is Sylvia Atkinson supporting you in this race?
No.
Are any of the people that are around Sylvia supporting you in this race, whether it be on the board or not? No. And people that had told you before, oh, you should run for BISD. 2 female city commissioners. I'm not going to name them. I know because you asked me. Oh, they want you to run. Like, yeah, they're not going to want you to run against Philip. I guarantee you they're not going to want you to. They're going to, and did I not tell you that? Did I not tell you that they're going to back somebody else if you run against Philip? And I was right?
Yeah. Everybody wanted me to run until they found out who I was running against.
Why? And why are they protecting him? I don't see it. I don't see a reason to protect this man.
I don't know. I'm sure later on they'll come ask me for my vote and the vote of my supporters. But, I don't want to go into holding a grudge. This process has been very eye-opening. I know the whole, like, oh, wait until you get to politics. But, wow.
Yeah, and the thing is that, we have reached out to Manny, we've reached out. We posted it. Open invitation for Philip to come on our show. It'll be a friendly, not a hostile environment. I will ask him tough questions, like I'm asking you. I feel like I'm asking you tough questions. I've asked Erasmo tough questions. But anybody who's been in politics should be able to answer these kinds of questions. We've contacted Vito. We can't find him, right, Manny? He's nowhere to be found. I don't know where he is. Argelia, I contacted her. We were okay for Thursday, and then she called me this morning. Oh, it wasn't set in stone. I'm like, I think I got a Facebook Messenger post from you saying that you were going to be there. For whatever reason, they're running and hiding. Not necessarily because it's me, but this particular show, and I want to make sure that you understand it. And everybody, I know you'll come on it, Osmo. You have no problem.
That's a no-brainer.
That's a no-brainer. Yeah. This show is not about attacking people. It's not about me. It's really about candidates and office holders and the way to get them an opportunity to, because you are not expecting to run this way. You are expecting to go knock on doors, go block walking, holding little pachangas, doing coffee in people's houses, doing meet the candidates, doing forums in person. You're not able to do that now.
No.
So I firmly believe that this show is an opportunity for anybody to come on and have a video. Hey, somebody was interviewing me there. Show it to your supporters. It's not just coming from you. Has coronavirus changed your campaign in, like I said, in any other ways?
Oh, yes. Like you said, I had envisioned doing so many things for the campaign. My parents were also, I say my parents, I mean my parent volunteers, my friends. Were always super supportive as well, and it's like, oh, let's do this and let's block walk and we'll do this, and then all of a sudden you can't. Then at the same time, like I said, I have 3 school-age children here at home doing virtual learning, and it's been stressful. Thankfully, we have not had issues as I've heard others going out there. I mean stressful as in I can't just get up and go and let me go knock on doors, or, well, I can't really knock on doors, but just go out there and do something. I can't. I have to be with them. That they are my priority. I understand I have the campaign, but it has changed everything, absolutely everything. I almost feel like I'm being cheated of the system, the process, because I am not a political person. You know that very well. I debated for so long to do this. And there's only so much I know. I appreciate the advice that many people have given me. But it's just a whole different process, I feel almost like if I'm trapped, and there's so much I can do. I'm thankful that you guys have given me the opportunity. I know you guys have been trying for a while.
Well, because I'll be honest, your particular race is really going to decide the majority on this board. I firmly believe this particular race is going to be the one that decides whether or not there's a comfortable majority for change and effective change. I want to go back and I want to do Philip one more time, and then I want to talk about the board, the makeup, and the superintendent. Philip Cowan, you're a woman, obviously. Yes. Philip Cowan has advertisements on a porn blog right now. This particular blogger writes pornography. This particular blogger writes, glorifies the rape of women, glorifies pictures of men having intercourse with women, whether it's consensual or not, we don't know. He has images of women topless, and constantly endorsing and supporting this particular candidate, your opponent, the incumbent, Philip Cowan. You as a woman, you as a parent have daughters. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that what's your opinion on the incumbent male paying, essentially, because I guess he charges, Jerry charges, mm-hmm. I know he does, for these kind of ads. What do you think? What are your comments on that?
I think it's sad. As simple as that.
Yes, I know, Erasmo, I know that. Sorry.
I just think it's sad to get to that point, because as someone, I understand, yes, he has money. I don't know if I mentioned that we are self-funding this campaign by ourselves. We don't have the thousands and thousands of dollars, and even if we did, I don't see the point in going into debt or owing favors just to win the seat that will ultimately, I will vote my conscience. I will not vote for a majority. I will vote by my conscience. But like I said, as you say, as a parent in general, not necessarily just of girls, because we have to look out for my boys as well. And it's upsetting, but it's just sad at the end of the day that he would resort to those measures to advertise when he's a widely known person. Yesterday they told me, "Oh, it's the guy at the port," and I was like, "No. There's one at the port, there's one at the city, and there's one at BISD." And she's like, "Oh no." So it's sad that you would have to go to those extreme levels to get your message across, and then it makes you wonder who actually sees those posts. I personally, since I decided to run, I'll be honest, I would see some blogs, not that one. I know which one you're talking about. I wouldn't see that one. But ever since I decided to run, I've tried to 100% for my mental health. I've just decided to 100% stay away from them.
Yeah, Manny, you have a question, Manny?
Yeah, I mean, what staying on this topic a little more, and I would say don't hold back. It depends on how you want to answer this. But really, if you want to go a little deeper, what do you think that says about Phil, that he would put his ads on a page like that? And not just Phil, but you've got Erasmo's opponent, a female, right? That's what we're talking about. Mm-hmm. If she would put on there, maybe she doesn't even know, maybe she's ignorant of the fact, but it seems like they're just spending money.
That's the only one, right? Who else is putting ads in the BISD? You have Carlos Elizondo's opponent, a former police officer, putting them on there. Is Minerva putting ads on there, or is it Coach Joe putting them? Yeah, no. Exactly. No, absolutely, Erasmo. Do you by any chance know in that particular race who's putting ads, or is he supporting in that race? The Minerva, Coach Joe, and Marisa. Do we know in that particular race who he's supporting? Okay, I don't know. Anyway, because I don't go to his blog. I don't.
I don't either.
Yeah, Manny, sorry I interrupted.
Yeah, so I don't know. Just what do you just to yourself, to your people? What do you think that says about a person that, first of all, would even do that, and a female who wants to make herself so wholesome and pure, and that she would advertise on that page that offers that kind of content?
Yeah, I think, and I'm not speaking for Phil, but I say that, is he worried? Is he worried that just this stay-at-home mom wants change at the board? I am nobody. I'm not a widely known name. It's safe to say, just a person. I'm just a mom that wants change. So why is he worried about me? Is it because he's done or he's not done many things to improve the district? As far as Erasmo's opponent, I can't really say. I don't know if she knows. I know she has family in politics. You would think they would know.
If she doesn't know, she should be embarrassed. If she doesn't know, let's just put it. I mean, she has no excuse. She's in the game. She's in political stuff. If her ads are appearing on, and they are, I mean, literally, there's an image of her ad, and the next thing is rape. Wow. I'm like, not. I mean, it's not in the same post, but the next post is about rape, and I'm just disgusted.
Something like that in combination should not be in combination with a candidate for a school board.
Exactly.
I mean, it should be way opposite ends of the world.
Yeah. So, you're running again. I don't want to harp on the Phil thing, but I agree with Jessica. They know, absolutely, they know. They have no qualms. And
well, she may not know. She seems a little out there.
Well, I'm not going to
know now, but she may not have known.
Yeah, maybe now she'll know.
Yeah, she's known for at least a month.
She seems a bit of a deer in the headlights to me.
Yeah. Well, and the reason I say it for a month, because I think Ed Osmo, has been making a point about this. Okay, I want to jump into the superintendent and the board. Is it a Google ad? No, it is not a Google ad. It is not, Zach, at all. I'm not even going to post it on there. It's literally like a blog post. It'll have like a headline, and it'll like, vote for this person. And he's not the only one. Our congressman has ads there, Zach. Our Congressman Filemon Vela has ads on there. If you go to Congressman Filemon Vela's campaign finance reports, you're going to see the name of this porn blogger given $500 every year from his campaign finance reports. Conservative people out there, people in Washington give him money, give Filemon Vela money to run his campaign. Would they be okay knowing that their money is going, $500 is going every year to this man? On a porn blog? Probably not. Anyway, I had an issue.
If I could just say, do people care? Which they should.
They should.
They should.
You would hope they
But-
should.
All three of us in this room and at Osmo care. That's 4 people. That's more than enough.
Yeah.
Your congressman. No, you're not my congressman. I haven't voted for the guy. Maybe you will vote for Osmo because you don't like his opponent because you don't like him. But regardless, anyway, and I think actually I did say our congressman. I think I said. The issue that I wanted to come up with is come up next with the superintendent. You and I have discussed it privately. I've given you my concerns because as a person in our community, I think I should tell you, hey, I don't, you're a candidate running for. Why are you saying this? Question you because I may not vote for you. I don't know who I'm going to vote for in this particular race, and so my concern was you were somewhat supportive of the superintendent during the forum with not AOB, the other one with BISD. But I agree with you. There's a lot of agreement between us. You're like, oh my God, it's crazy. Yeah. So the superintendent, the superintendent is trying. And I think that maybe you didn't mean it that way. Did you really mean that he's trying, or were you trying to put the blame on the board more than the superintendent for what's going on with coronavirus? Because my personal opinion has been, very frankly, the superintendent has failed us. We pay him the big bucks to lead our school. And granted, we have not the greatest school board, but ultimately he is the one that's leading us. And I think he's failed us. Could you expound on what you were trying to say, or whether or not what you were trying to say with regards to he's trying?
Maybe I worded it wrong, but what I want people to understand is that the superintendent is an employee of the district at the end of the day. So his boss is the board of trustees. So you can't get higher than the board unless, of course, you go to state or whatever levels. But so you're upset, and I think I automatically go back to my retail days. You're mad at somebody, you go to the manager. You're mad at that one, you go to the district manager, so on and so on. Again, he's an employee of the district. There's people higher than him. And in reality, the board is in charge of him and the board attorney. That's it. So if we're mad at him, well, then we need to go to his boss. And his boss is the board of trustees.
But we can still be mad at the superintendent, right? We can still.
Well, yeah, but again, go to.
But you're not necessarily defending. I want to make sure you're not necessarily defending the superintendent and his actions. You're more like it's not just his fault; it's also the board's fault for being mad. Okay, all right. I can concur with that. That kind of a thing, and hopefully that answers some of those questions. What are some of the concerns that you have with coronavirus? I think at the forum you talked about communication problems. Other than communications, what have you seen as an issue with regards to coronavirus and our school kids?
Well, we're definitely failing in public relations, and that is not just in coronavirus. That is just BISD in general. Nobody knows what in the world is happening at all.
That's not the same comment. He's another comment that he's adding on.
I'm
not flashing the same one over.
Holy moly!
Wow.
What's going on with this thing at Osmo? And I'm getting confused. I'm very confused.
Somebody give it Osmo medication. Is he okay?
I don't know.
Or I'm gonna need medication after.
You might be. Maybe you're not. Maybe you're seeing things. You never know.
You've had too many cookies.
I'm gonna do this without my glasses so I don't see the comments. I already forgot the question. Public
The-
relations.
what can BISD do better with regards to coronavirus, and what is your opinion on coronavirus and for our school kids? Whether it's the hotspots that Phil claimed, well, we're going to have thousands and thousands of hotspots, and we never had it. You know, like where are these hotspots? Because he had this long, annoying leadership matters thing that I just don't agree with. I don't want to go line by line, but one of these things, like, we don't have everything he said.
I made notes.
Oh, well, you know what? We can talk about that more in detail after we do the rapid fire, but tell me what you think is going wrong. Never, if you know that.
It's, where do I start? So besides, again, and I cannot emphasize enough the public relations, because for example, off the back, I have from the beginning of this have been saying we shouldn't even consider going back to school until January. It's, let's let the virus do what it needs to do. Then we have flu season, and that's going to be a disaster in itself. So let's just push it all the way to January to play it safe. Unfortunately, we were promised many things. From the chair of the technology committee also, which is my opponent.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Promises a lot of things, huh?
Yeah, well, so we wouldn't be in the situation that we are now. And I mean, we as parents and the teachers out there, if we were given what we promised. So TEA is, oh my God. So TEA.
I know, right? It's like, yeah, I think he's endorsing you at this point.
Stop throwing me off, Erasmo. So TEA is saying the students that do not have technology need to go back. And I kind of understand them, because these are kids that are falling behind. They don't have the help that they need. But why are we, as a district who has lots of money, why aren't we helping them? Why are we letting them get to that position in the first place? We shouldn't be there. We should have been, if it's the way TEA is saying, then we wouldn't have this conversation until November. Not right now. But we failed the families. We failed the staff. So that's why you have staff at the schools. You have students that are going to be starting already. And then they target the special education families. So again, I'm a special needs. I'm sorry. My special needs child is asthmatic, has allergies, he has half a lung. You think I'm going to want to send him back? No. And then I have my older one who's in athletics that wants to go back, but I can't risk that either, because then he's going to bring something back to the little ones. So it's a whole process. So again, we shouldn't even be talking about going back until January. It's unfortunate that it's all about funding, because TEA did say they released the email. It's on the packet. They released the email. They released the email saying that I believe the question from the district was, what will happen if they go back per se without permission? And it was, you won't get funding.
Yeah, no, I mean, and I was right on this April thing. You and I, Jessica, you and I talked about this back in March and April. We've been talking about it. We both agreed they need to be planning for this, right? So at Osmo, privately, you and I were talking about it, but publicly, were you saying the same things that Osmo was saying about being proactive, being ready back in March and April for the following year?
Well, I don't think no, they were not getting ready since then. I think they thought we were going to be back in the fall. I think
so they failed us. So Philip Cowan and the board failed our community. Is that fail?
Yeah, it's safe to say that.
All right.
Because even recently, for example, I had a conversation with a parent that we ordered, we the district, I say we, the modernized water fountains where you just non-touch, you just put your bottle and it refills, which is great. We should have been doing that a long time ago. But if your child, let's just say your child goes to school tomorrow, I don't know who has assured me that those water fountains have been installed. is my child going to go thirsty all day because the water fountains aren't installed? And the other old, fashioned with the button and you drink the water, those are shut down. You can't use those anymore. Same with the restroom. They purchased some hand washing stations that are going to be by pedal. So you press the pedal, again, non-touch, and you wash your hands. Have those been installed? Have they even arrived? I appreciate they've been purchased, but it's all those little questions of, or am I just supposed to trust them and say, okay, well, we put little stickers on the floor and we have Germex. Send your child.
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
It's very difficult for you as a mom, as a parent, and you're not just speaking for yourself. And I try to put myself in your shoes because I do the same thing when I talk to teachers on behalf of my daughter, who's a BISD student. I always try to look. This isn't just about her. What are you doing for other kids in her situation? All right, I dragged on a little bit too long in this. We didn't go to the rapid fire, so let's do the rapid fire questions. Are you ready for the rapid fire questions?
I'm scared, but go ahead.
So am I, because I really didn't work on these. Sometimes I work on them beforehand, but I kind of got busy doing a couple of things, so you're not my greatest rapid fire. So if other people have rapid fire questions, feel free to put them in the comments, and Manny will put them on, and I think Manny will give us one. All right, ready? Ready the clock.
Do I have to say yes?
Not you.
Oh.
You have to say yes, Manny. All right, the real Southmost, Porter or Lopez?
Porter.
Who has failed school kids during the coronavirus more, TA or Governor Abbott?
I have Governor Abbott.
Yeah.
No.
I don't know.
You go to the top. You see, I think we
took there you
top.
go.
Who's
Porter blue. Okay, Porter blue or Porter white? I guess that's the other color.
Blue.
There you go. All right. Chess or checkers?
I'm a checkers person. Sorry.
Sorry, Ray. If you're watching, Ray, I'm shocked you haven't commented. I'm shocked Ray's not commenting.
I'm surprised he hasn't.
I really am. Where are you, Ray? We need to put an APB out for Mary Martinez and also Vito Cardenas. We need to do where is he? We were worried for you. Superman or Batman?
Oh, Batman.
Batman. All right. Does Zach?
I feel like I'm disappointing you with my answers.
It's okay. It doesn't really matter. These are just random questions for no reason. Manny, you got one?
Yeah, I've got some fan questions here.
Oh my.
First of all, from the one and only Zach.
Oh, churros.
Churros.
Okay.
Churros all the way.
All right. Frozen or on the rocks?
On the rocks.
Okay. Any more? Board member of the year, Super Minero.
I'll pass.
Oh, it's okay.
I will pass.
That's tough. All right, got another one? Any
But
more?
did you want me to say him?
Pan dulce or donuts?
Oh. I can't do that. I go get donuts when I get pan dulce.
Popular chocolate popular or chocolate abuelita? Which one would you use?
Oh, chocolate abuelita.
Okay, caldo de res or caldo de pollo?
Oh, I'm a pollo person.
Okay, favorite tamales filling?
Chicken. Basic chicken.
All right, Zach Cantus of KRV's sponsored question: pie or cake?
Cake all the way.
Oh wow, there's your answer. And Zach,
cake all the way.
The super special Zach Cantus sponsored question: right Twix or left Twix?
Right.
Right Twix. There you go. All right, and that is
a couple more thrown out.
Look, oh, that's a good.
Cooney or Pit.
Oh wow, there you go, Zach. You see, Erasmo's secret crush Erasmo. Well, wait. No, I'm not gonna say. Is that pre-work Erasmo or post-work Erasmo with the
beard?
No, the work he did that he's really proud of, that he fixed his waddle.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Sorry.
Well, you see, you didn't even notice that. It came natural.
I didn't notice, but I've always preferred a scruffy Erasmo. I don't like it when he shaves.
Okay, there you go.
And menudo, Erica. Menudo always.
Yeah, menudo always. Yeah, absolutely.
Always. I'm still sad it didn't rain on Sunday because I wanted to make menudo.
All right, Manny always gets the first question out the rapid fire. What's your question, Manny?
Wondering what kind of reception did you get from your, let's call it your inner circle, of parents, parent friends, and family when you were making this announcement?
They were ecstatic. They were ecstatic. And again, it goes back to volunteering. There is no way I could have done what I do without their support. So, that of my family, my friends, my neighbors, everybody is just so supportive, and there's no way again that I could do what I do without them, because as like everybody, you have your hard days, and I don't just mean campaign wise, and I always have them as they have me to just support me and push me and say, we can do that. That's why I always say we're in this together, because we are. I don't say that just to say it.
Right.
One of the things is, as a board member, you'll have some board members that want to do athletics, want to focus on athletics, want to focus on the arts. I know Erasmo really wants to focus on fine arts.
Mm-hmm.
What your special needs mom? What is your not pet project, but the issue that you want to focus on as a board member?
Well, my main thing, and my slogan is a voice for the community. That's my concern right now. Is just, there's just lack of communication across the board, and that needs to stop. Everybody says hashtag transparency. Where is it? And then from there, it goes back to stop getting money from the special needs department. Stop getting money for your little pet projects from the fine arts department. All those little things. We budget something. It's for that. That's it. The end. It ends there.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the one issue, when you have three opponents or challengers and an incumbent, you as a challenger have to differentiate yourself between the other three. The other two, your other two challengers will say, I'm the one you need to choose, vote for me and make sure that I win. I would have said get into a runoff, but Phil changed the rules on us.
No need to worry about that.
Yeah. And quite frankly, I'm not an attorney, but I would. It's weird, but I'm going to agree with Baltasar. They're risking a lawsuit from any of the people that may potentially get second place and then fall underneath 50%, risking that. And anyway, what was my train of thought? I lost it. What was I talking about?
How can I differentiate myself?
Yeah, differentiate yourself. Yeah, between the other two candidates. What makes you better than let's say Vito or Argelia?
I don't want to say they have ulterior motives, and by they I mean Vito and Argelia. But I can speak for myself, and I have absolutely no ulterior motives for this position. I had no reason to do it to begin with. I was already an advocate, very public about what I did. I'm not using this position to move up further. Unfortunately, a lot of people use BISD to go either to city politics or county politics. That's not me. My heart and soul is BISD. Again, I have no reason to do this. I'm already in the system per se. I've helped out so many people, but in my area, and I truly feel that I can do that for everybody else across the district and stuff, from projects, from just we have to work together. We just have to, and it's something that I've been able to do, like I said, here at my little community schools, and I truly believe that we can do it as a district. I all this whole political and the fighting and the I'm better than you, or look at me, look at my name, no. That has to end. We have to do it for the children. At the end of the day, it is for them. It is to help them grow, because that's what we want. Like I said, my main focus is my children. But the same way I want my children to grow, I want my neighbors' children to grow. I want your children to grow, because I very well, my child went to college and she left. And she's made it clear that she doesn't want to come back home. And that's one of the biggest issues with the city, not even the district in general. So that's something that we need to find a way to work together. I know my heart is in it. Like I said, I have no ulterior motives for this. I have no reason to go further in politics. And I truly, truly hope people see that I'm in it for the right reasons, which is to help the people, to work together.
Yeah. But Manny?
Have you seen this? Something we found online the other day.
No, I have not seen that.
I think it's flipfloppingphilip.com.
Okay. What is that?
Let me be perfectly clear. I promise you that my position today will be different than it was yesterday.
That's pretty accurate. What else is on that thing?
There's a couple of videos on showing some of his antics that would call for this right up here.
The Flopping Philip. Okay. Pretty cool. So you can go to flipfloppingphilip.com and see those videos. You want to play one of those videos, Manny?
Oh, sure. We can do one real quick.
Which video do you want to put?
There's a lot of misinformation out there. Somebody said that we're cutting our steps to year 30, and there's no truth at all to that. Some other stuff, So, they need to listen to you and what we put on the webpage. Thank you, and I appreciate your work.
What is that? What is that reference to? You know what that's about?
Jessica, do you know what that was in reference to?
Oh, that sounds so familiar.
I think that Osmo knows.
I don't know. I don't know. Do you want to play that? I guess that video, or what is that video?
Please, sir, I want some more.
Oh.
What?
Okay. All right. That's what you wanted to show. The thing about I firmly believe you have to differentiate yourself, quite frankly. And one of the things about you that I know is that you care about BISD, and you obviously want to do good by BISD and work together. But to a certain extent, you have to have some sort of fight in you. And I feel like you have that fight. Sometimes it doesn't necessarily come through, but I think that fight comes through in a nicer way than a Roman way. Roman would just like pretty much.
I'm a nice person, Roman.
Yeah, I know. But you go to public, people, going to public comment is important. You do you have some sort of affect change a little bit doing that. And
I change policy through public comment.
Right. So that, so you understand policy. You have the ability to be able to potentially work with other people. Hey, we brought you and Osmo together, and Osmo doesn't like you, and it's crazy. So working together is important, and like I say, this particular race is going to be extremely important, whether or not there's a majority. There a question that we didn't talk about right now. Obviously, I'm hoping we'll have you on again, maybe in a couple of weeks or something. We'll talk about further your campaign. But is there anything today that we didn't talk about that you feel we should have talked about that you just want to talk about right now?
My main concern, and this is what I tell the parents every time I talk to them, is don't abandon the district. Don't give up on the district. I have parents calling me, saying, I'm done. I'm going to the charters. And no, don't. I've been a charter parent. When they closed Cummings, I sent my son to middle school at a charter, the one that's at Porter now. I just, more than anything, do not give up on the district. The district.
Yeah. Hey, I thought you left it, Osmo.
You said worse things, Erasmo.
Yeah, I think you said a lot worse things than that, Osmo, quite frankly. But it's okay.
That's to the other show.
That's for our late night show.
More than anything, like I said, I cannot stress that enough. Do not abandon the district. There are amazing things happening in the district, but again, public relations. Who is saying that information? Nobody. I know, I don't want to say I know a lot, but I know a lot because I go to those board meetings, and then I ultimately spread that message to the parents or even to the teachers. So again, I cannot stress that enough to everybody. Do not give up on the district. amazing things are happening. Amazing things will happen. But vote for me, and I can promise you, I will be your voice. I'm not going to go and say, no, this is the way I want things. No, because that position belongs, I'll specifically say you guys, that position belongs to you, to the community, to the ones, to the voters, to the taxpayers. A lot of people don't understand that you don't, even if you don't have your kids in BISD, even if you're a charter parent or your kids are grown or you don't have kids, what happens at BISD affects you. If you own a home or you own property within the Brownsville, San Pedro, part of Rancho Viejo, everything that happens at BISD affects you. So pay attention to everybody. Make sure there's no ulterior motives. I can promise you I have no ulterior motives. I cannot stress enough that I have no reason to do this. But I truly, truly believe that we can do amazing things.
Yeah, I know, right? She sounded like an Osmo. It's
Oh my
weird.
God.
See, that's why you need to come on these shows, and maybe you'll be even more like Erasmo, and it'll be.
That's scary.
I mean, you know, I've known you for a very long time. I think I've known you very long, and probably not as long as I've known Erasmo. And I know you to be a good person, and I know Argelia very well as well. She's a good person, and Vito's a very good person as well. But you know, they're not to be seen right now. And in order for somebody in this race to beat somebody with Philip's kind of money, you have to be out there. Whether it's on social media, whether it's on putting up signs, and you're on social media. You need to be out there more in order to defeat this man. Because I'm not going to say this man is evil. He's not, but he has done, in my personal opinion, bad things to the district, and he needs to leave. He needs to go. He's went out and hired your friend, the one that you're not your friend anymore, or your friend, Sylvia Atkinson's campaign manager, to run his campaign. You know, and that speaks volumes about this man's character. To go out and hire. I mean, I know, hire whoever the heck you want to run your campaign. Feel free to do that. But it tells me as a voter, you went ahead and you decided to hire that person. So to me, for anybody out there, I don't know what you mean by that, Osmo. So anybody out there that's saying that you are Sylvia's puppet, really, how can you be Sylvia's puppet when you're...
I'm sorry.
No,
I've spoken to Sylvia in the past the exact same way that I've spoken to Prissy, to Drew, well, maybe it's not a good thing that I mentioned, to all of the board members. But again, because I like to voice my concern, and this is what I like about going to the meetings, is sometimes I feel I don't have to do public comment anymore. I don't have to send emails anymore. I just take advantage that I'm there, and I'll be like, hey, why is this happening? Why is this happening? Little things like that. So yes, I've spoken to Sylvia, but she represents the district the same way I've spoken.
For better or for worse.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully you'll come back on. I'm sure Osmo wants you on his show at some point. He'll probably beg and plead. Don't, be on his show. Be everywhere you need to be in order to be able to get the votes that you need in order to win this race. Because my goal in this race is to have Philip not win. And it's going to be an uphill battle. It is. So thank you for coming on. Don't leave yet. When we log off, don't leave yet because I have to go through some speeches first. Do we have anybody? We are not having a show on Wednesday tomorrow. Manny and I both have plans on that day. We're not able to do it. We will also not have a show on Friday. Correct, Manny?
Correct.
All right. But we will be having a show on Thursday and we'll hopefully do a real talk, real late show one of these next 3 days. But definitely the 7:30 show on Wednesday, and Friday will not be here. Do we have a guest story lined up for Thursday, Manny?
We do not at this point, no.
Okay. We were supposed to have Argelia, but she said it was only penciled in. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Yeah. But whatever. We'll find somebody. Don't worry. We have people that are interested. We already have our 2 or 3 people that we might have. But we will be on the lookout for us on Thursday. Please like and share our Facebook video that we just did. Please like and share our page. Please. We'd like to get more people involved in RioPolitics. And also, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Are you going to play this video for us, Manny?
This is the one that's apparently this is one that's more important than the other two.
Oh, okay. I have no idea what this is.
fine arts facility. We all want it. We've got the programs for it. But right now is not the time based on what's happening. It's not ordinary times. And to go out and try to do something like that right now when there's so much uncertainty would just be irresponsible on our part to pursue. So, yes, sir.
I think that another thing that should be out of there is, since we can't use this money, M&O, maintenance and operation funds, to build a new building, we, without going out for a bond issue, we're just not going to be able to build a performing arts center because the money's not there. With all this money's going to be spent that we have dedicated here, and it's still only going to go like 55% of what we need to get done. We still have another 45%. Performing Arts Center, it's off the table. And it's off the table because of the funding changes that took place, what Dr. Gutierrez pointed out. But the only way you can do it is you take it to the voters at the appropriate time. They feel it's important. We can get it done. San Benito did it and they wanted it, and we could do the same thing at the appropriate time, but it's just not the time right now.
But we already did. Sorry.
The voters already decided that they wanted it.
He was a board member when it happened, right? 2017? Yeah, I believe he was. When we did the TRE,
I don't, oh God. I think it was 2015 when that was voted on. And then he came in 2016. What I do know that he mentions on these bonds is those were recently refinanced.
Mm-hmm.
So it did save the money. I mean, it did save the district money as far as payment. But we're still not paying that much off of the debt. So I'm curious how long we'll be paying, because I believe we were supposed to stop paying 2030, 2034, or something like that. I'm curious with the refinancing of the bonds, how much longer we extended it.
Oh, he's here. And Osmo wants to come. Is that okay? Wow. Okay. Hey, I thought you were leaving.
So greedy at Osmo. You can't wait for your show.
No, let me tell you.
I'm curious how long we'll be paying.
Anytime that Jessica is around, I want to be close by.
You're literally blocks away at us.
And Osmo, maybe you can answer this question for us, because I was under the impression that flip-flopping Philip was on the board when the TRE passed. Am I wrong on that? I don't know if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Flip-flopping Philip was actually on the board when the TRE was passed. Flip-flopping Philip actually voted for it. Minerva and Sylvia voted against it.
Okay, so when he voted for it, he voted in favor of having the Performing Arts Center already with that TRE, correct?
Yes. Well, actually, the TRE money wasn't going to be used for the Performing Arts Center. It was later on approved 2 months later with a tax increase. So actually, the 11 cents that were increased in regards to the tax were not only to build the Performing Arts Center, which was going to take up, I think, $35 million, but also the Hannah Gym. But the Performing Arts Center was phase one, was the first thing, was the priority. Never got built.
So right now, Philip is promoting the Hannah Gym. Hey, we did the Hannah Gym. Look at the Hannah Gym. But we should be doing not just the Hannah Gym. We should have been doing the Performing Arts Center. So he's flip-flopping again, right?
Well, just as you know, for some reason, and that's why, and I'll mention this to Jessica, that's why the Performing Arts, the Fine Arts Department, has really been felt left out of the loop, because the gym that was built for Hannah was built on top of the practice, the band marching practice for Hannah, and they were tripping. They said, you know what, we have we do have property on the northwest side of Hannah where the gym could have easily been built, but this one was closer to the other gym, and they thought closer to the campuses. So they, for some reason, they didn't want athletes to walk an extra 2 blocks.
Oh, and they wonder why Hannah's not that great at sports anymore in football.
Hannah's great at football, guys. Let me tell you.
The glory days were back when, Coach Joe was coach, maybe. I don't know.
But I was looking at the budget today, all 160 something pages. That's why my eyes kind of feel like that. And what I don't get, and maybe Erasmo, you can answer it since you were on the board before, is that there seems to be not a lot of money, but we're spending 6% on the facilities acquisition and construction, but we're spending 1% on instruction. So I'm all for maintaining our buildings. But should we really be building, and I understand the fine arts is a whole different story because that was already funded, but should we really be building anything new right now after, and the one that said $20 million was Phil.
No. Well,
He said it at one of these last meetings
Well,
that we've spent $20 million on the COVID so far. So
I'll give you a better way, Jessica. Philip Cowan directed the superintendent to hire an architect. An architect to build. To build what? What have we built in the past year and a half? Absolutely nothing. The Hannah Gym was already paid for. The architect had already been paid. We hired an architect who happens to be the brother of the state Democratic Party chair, and who is an individual who also donated into every single board member that is sitting on the board right now's campaign. Hey, and all of a sudden, Philip Cowan pushes him forward to get a job as the architect for the district. I mean, how does that seem right to anyone? Why we as the district need $120,000 a year architect when we're losing students, Jessica? And also, we closed 3 schools. But we hired an architect? Does that make sense?
We lost no teachers. We lost no teachers when we closed those schools, but we did lose students. And we till this day, I'll tell you, my little one, and everybody that knows my little Emma, that's the most blunt person ever. She literally says when we pass by Resaca, she says they closed it because they were going to do something, and nothing is getting done to that school. This is a 9-year-old. That scares me sometimes, but she's a little 9-year-old.
Well, I hate to break this up, but I kind of want to end the show because I don't want people like it. Oh, was there anything you wanted to talk about, Erasmo? Because you wanted to come on. What was it?
No, I actually put up a comment, said that I'm available for Thursday in case y'all need someone to come.
Yeah, you know what? Maybe we should have the 2 of you again on Thursday together, and we can discuss some other stuff.
I appreciate y'all's platform. I appreciate anyone's platform. I will go anywhere. I mean, I've gone on places that a lot of people thought that I would never go and interview on. I will answer any question at any time, any point, at anywhere. And so, yeah, if y'all don't find anyone, I want to invite myself for Thursday.
That's fine. I mean, Manny will hook it up. And Jessica, you want to join us so we can all have a kumbaya kind of thing? That'd be great.
I'm actually not sure I can on Thursday. Remember, my daughter and my sister-in-law are coming to town.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Yeah, but it's really the Philip needs to lose flat out. Every incumbent needs to go, like flat out. I don't, that's my personal opinion. I think I said I was feeling. I think Jessica, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, but that's definitely our feeling. Well, I'm going to let you all go. So we'll have Erasmo on Thursday. Yay. Okay.
Thank you guys.
Take care.
Thank you.